I feel good, thank God. Had we lost, who knows, But after a victory, everything feels pretty good.
And it feels pretty good. It always feels pretty good for Steeler Nation when they get a win over the Browns. Hello, everyone. I'm Justin LeBar. Pittsburgh Tribune Review Steeler columnist John Harris will be joining us in a few moments. But first, let's give you the full story of the win today. 27-14 was the final. Steelers over the Browns. Roethlisberger, 23 for 35, 417 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hines Ward, 8 receptions, 159 yards, 1 touchdown. And just for the record, the Steelers, a dozen straight wins now against the Browns. Heath Miller, 25th career touchdown, second all-time in touchdowns for a Steelers tight end. Miller also now has 204 career receptions. He is a third tight end in Steelers history to hit the 200 mark. Roethlisberger's second career 400-yard game, and Joshua Cribbs of the Browns, third kickoff return for touchdown against the Steelers. So Roethlisberger and Miller, they were the two stories on the offense, setting individual and franchise records. But if you ask them after the game, that's not quite enough.
Yeah, I mean, it was important to come out and, against a very good defense, physical team, division rival, and really glad we were able to get away with a win with, kind of a subpar performance on offense.
Well, I think, we haven't played our best ball yet, and that's pretty comforting for us to know. We've got a few wins here without playing our best. Hopefully we can continue to move in the right direction.
So there you heard it. Heath Miller and Ben Roethlisberger very modest about the offense, saying that this is not the maximum what they could do. We have not even yet seen as good as they can get. Steeler columnist John Harris joining me. John, I'd say it was a pretty good day despite the modest tones that Miller and Roethlisberger have. But is this going to be enough to take on the undefeated Vikings next week with Brett Favre, Adrian Peterson, and company?
I mean, it's scary what the offense can do. It's still working out some kinks. We'll see. We'll see about the Vikings. Vikings had a big win. Could have easily been a loss. Yeah. At the end, their defense kind of got taken apart. Going back to the Steelers' offense, if that's what Baltimore and Joe Flacco was able to do today, we'll see what happens next week at Heinz Field with the Steelers offense.
Let's talk defense. Obviously, Aaron Smith was in the news all week, so they had to try to find a replacement by committee. Travis Kersky did a lot of that today on the defensive end. Polamalu came back first time since week 1. How's the defense going to do against the very high-octane offense?
I think the defense is going to do good. I mean, they gave up 1 touchdown today. Again, for the 4th straight week, there's been a touchdown given up by the Steelers that wasn't given up by the defense. Kickoff return by Joshua Cribbs, a tremendous player. I think the defense is going to get in there. Troy's got another week under his belt. I mean, I think they showed a little wildcat look today. The Steelers had to adjust to that. It took them a little while to adjust that. When they did, they shut that down. Derek Anderson did nothing in the passing game. I think the Steelers' defense is getting there even without Aaron Smith. Travis Kersky, defensive end by committee. They did a solid workmanlike job. We'll see what happens when the Vikings, when they come out of that dome, come to Heinz Field next week, how that's going to work out.
It will be interesting to see if the weather plays a factor. One last thing, John, you follow this team as close as anybody, practice every day. This is the first game, 13-point victory. This is really the first time this season that they, solidly put away a game by more than just one possession, by more than a touchdown, by more than a field goal. And everybody was kind of worried because of the injuries with Aaron Smith and Mendenhall and Parker, who was going to get more carries. What do you attribute to the best game so far this season?
I think you can talk about Mendenhall. I think getting more comfortable now, 3rd consecutive game out there with the major carries, getting comfortable. He had a fumble. Willie Parker had a fumble. We got to keep that ball tucked up. That's against a team like the Vikings. They're not going to waste those opportunities like Cleveland did. Cleveland did not take advantage of the turnovers. They got 4 Steeler turnovers today. That can't happen against a team like the Vikings. But solid except for, kickoff return.
Yeah.
We thought we had gotten that fixed. Maybe a little work there this week. It's the NFL, like the guys say every week. Hey, they pay the other guys too. They're playing against great players. 27-14 win at home. A win you want to lock up going to play Minnesota next week. I think all in all, no injuries coming out of it. A very good day for the Steelers.
And your assessment so far of the season?
I think 4-2. One other win, maybe 5-1. I think they're right there. Well, ask me that question after next week's game.
You got it. You got a rain check. There you heard it. John Harris, Pittsburgh Tribune Review Steeler columnist. You can read his work, Scott Brown, and everybody else on TribLive.com, or pick up your Pittsburgh Tribune Review at your nearest newsstand. That's going to do it from Heinz Field. Steelers win 27-14 against the Brownies. Next week, the undefeated Vikings, Brett Favre, Adrian Peterson, and everyone else coming to take on Roethlisberger, Mendenhall, and the Steel Curtain defense. I'm Justin LeBar. We'll see you later.